Hey guys, this is Pat from Rain Country. God is good all the time. I tell you what, my wife's like a little bull in a china closet when it comes to appliances and, well, anything. And some of you out there say, well, Mr. Rain, you're a pretty handy guy, but I got no choice. Well, today I'm going to see if I can fix a little Oster hot plate. In the summertime we cook on our solar. So as you can see, the handle is missing off of the front of the little hot plate. So again, it's just a little hot plate. It's not really heavy industrial. We got this thing at Walmart. We got 2 or 3 or 4 of them. I think they're like $20, $25, something like that, maybe $30 by now. But anyway, I went ahead and removed the little feet that were on here. That just takes a standard number 2 Phillips. And so I removed four of those little feet there. Just got these little feet here, and it's got the metal screw that holds them on there onto the bottom, and actually holds this bottom plate on as well. This is just simply an 8mm nut that comes off of the bottom here, and there's a little flat washer and a little lock washer that holds that in place. I like to use these little dishes here, little yogurt dishes, to hold all of my parts and pieces so they don't get lost or kicked on the ground. When I was getting all set up for this video, I did drop every single one of these little cotter pins. So I had to use my little magnet that I keep in my weird tool bag. These are really handy. That telescopes out all the way, and I can just stand up and pick those little cotter pins up out of the dirt and out of the grass there. So anyway, back to the little dish. I just keep all these little spare parts in the dish. Okay, tearing into this thing. The bottom plate comes off of there, and then there's this little special, lack of a better term, just a fender washer of sorts. And this is just like a little insulator that goes around this little stud, and that goes into holds up the bottom of the plate. I think it's just a support, holds everything together, helps to hold this on, and keeps the plate suspended with this little standoff here, a little bushing. Okay, so what we got going on, and I've already been into this thing, so I kind of have a battle plan. So basically all this is just a rheostat. This little knob here turns, so this rheostat turns, and you can see the guts in there. I don't know if you can see those contacts, but you can hear that click on off. Clicking is lifting those contacts up and down, and that's between warm and off. So the farther clockwise that you turn this, the hotter the unit gets. It's applying more electricity or more current to the hot plate that's underneath this silver casing here. Okay, so I want to turn this to the off position. Again, this is off, and I turn it clockwise, and that turns it on, and I keep turning it clockwise, and it adjusts the current running through this. Basically it's just a large resistor, and it causes the more current to go to the hot plate through these leads here. The current comes in through this wire here from your AC circuit, and it runs in through. There's a little idiot light here that shows that you got your burner on, and it tells you that you got current running through these wires, and then this goes back through these leads here through a resistor and then goes back through the other side. Well, basically all a element is a resistor as well. So you've got a large amount of current that's running through the coil that's underneath here. That's a big coil. Some of you have the older stoves that have the electronic coil type looking surfaces on here. This is just a little flat surface. There's the old time stoves, and you can still buy them today. They just have that coil, and basically that's just a large resistor. So anyway, what I plan on doing is put this in the off position so I know which way to put my little tab here. Okay, I got this situated where I got off straight up on a knob, so I know where this position is on the connection. So what my plan is to drill a hole in here into that little brass handle there, and you can see where it notches together, and I want to run a cotter pin through there so it doesn't slip back out again. So it slips out. You see how it slips out? So here we go. So first of all, I just select a real small cotter pin, and they have gauges, calipers and different things that you can use to measure the diameter of these, but I'm just eyeballing it. That looks like it's about the right size. If it's too small, then I can always go up, but if it's too big, I can't go back down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this size here. Okay, that looks like a pretty good fit. Now I just take my pliers, stretch that out a little bit. There's always one leg that's a little shorter than the other one. There you can see one little leg that's shorter than the other, and that's so you can grab a hold of this and pull it out to where you can bend it over. So I'm going to bend it up like this, like so, and I'm going to take the other one and bend it over. And I'm going to cut some of that off of there because we don't need it that long. I don't want this bending over there and getting into that, because that wouldn't be any good. Okay, and now mash that flat. Okay, so now that won't pop out of there, and it's also got flexibility to where it can move, so that won't come out. It won't get in trouble. It won't make any contact with any of the heating element parts, so it won't transfer heat and melt this little plastic thing here. I just want to remove all of my little metal chips out of there so nothing gets in trouble. Okay, the next thing I want to do is figure out a way to fasten that a little bit more permanent to that little flat armature that comes out of there. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to use some JB Weld. You guys could use any glue you think might work. So I'll be right back with some JB Weld. Okay, I'm back, and so what I've done is, in order for that glue to hold a little better, I drilled a little hole in this little tab here. I don't know if you can see that, but I just drilled a hole through that tab. And I also drilled a hole inside of this in a couple of places where, so when I press the glue in there, the glue will actually permeate those holes, and actually when it dries it'll actually help to hold everything together. So I'm just using some JB Weld here. Not getting any kickbacks from this or anything. I'm just this is just what I've been using for years, and it seems to work. There's Gorilla Glue out there and all kinds of different things you can use. It's just a two-part system. You just mix equal parts together. Actually, I didn't mix too much. I didn't need that much. You just take a toothpick or a little stick and mix that together. And I just stuff that hole full of that glue. And being I got a lot, I'll use a lot. I'll stick that and exercise that and make sure that all the surfaces are contacted in there. Now again, there's two ways to put this on there. There's 50% right and 50% wrong. So I want to make sure that I operate this again. And with the contacts in the open position, I'll flip this over and put off in the up position. Okay, I'll just leave that in place. Now they claim that this takes 4 to 6 hours to dry. I'm going to give it a whole 12 to 24 hours. So there's no question in my mind that it's going to be dried when we go to use it. Just reapply all of the feet. Okay, well, let me see if this thing is still destined for the dump. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in here. I'm right here at the solar shed, and I'll plug it in here and see if it works. Okay, it works just great. I'm going to go ahead and leave that. Leave it alone now, let it dry. So the little hot plate was destined for the dump if I didn't take the time to try to see if I could fix that. Obviously, when you're talking about electronics, be careful. Things can bite you. Always unplug it, turn it off, and disconnect it, and make sure that all your fittings are right, as far as back to where they're supposed to be, and everything is connected and secure. That helps somebody out. That just saved us $25 to $30, and it works just as good as it did new. It don't look as good as it did new, but it works as good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.